Hey. Yeah. Hey. Got a late night worry. Got a word you can't pronounce. Got a chart you don't understand. And your heart is freaking out when your search bar's spinning and you're scared to read it slow. If you got questions, I know the place you need to go. Yeah, it's Dr. Andy with his host, Eddie Buffalo. It's the medical show that everybody knows. It's Dr. Andy. He's seen it all and learning more. Thursday nights you're tuning in. This is the place to be for sure. Oh yeah. From your head to your toes, from the uh-ohs to the scars, from the stuff you're scared to mention to the bruises on your heart. They break it down easy, make the big words sound like jokes. Pull your chair a little closer, listen up when Andy talks. That's Dr. Andy with his host, Eddie Buffalo. It's the medical show that everybody knows. That's Dr. Andy. He's seen it all and learning more. Thursday nights you're tuning in. This is the place to be for sure.
My microphone
Call
is
it in, write it down. They'll take it all, they'll talk it out. From the fear to the funny, from the clinic to the screen. Dr. Andy's in the house, and he's keeping it obscene. Hey, that's Dr. Andy with his host, Eddie Buffalo. It's the medical show that everybody knows. That's Dr. Andy. He's seen it all and learned. Thursday nights you're tuning in.
Yes, I know.
This is the place to be for sure.
Oh, I thought you were putting it on
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's a song I can get behind.
So you like that one much better, huh? I figured you
Much
would. I
better.
figured you would.
Much.
And I don't know if you guys could hear us, and I'm not going to know that until after the fact. But Dr. Andy was saying some crazy stuff to me. So
Oh, no.
whatever. He said talk about like we were talking about like steroids and what did you say, hormone replacement?
Yeah, I was talking about some of the people I've seen along the way in bodybuilding gyms and in practice who have done very different things to themselves that I do not understand entirely.
So the one thing that we fight about and we disagree on is my testosterone use.
I don't disagree. I just always tell people that the use of testosterone is a sharp double-edged sword. If you are testosterone deficient, it is good to replace it in a physiological manner. However, when you replace testosterone, be aware it accelerates heart disease. It accelerates prostate cancer. It can also cause you to make too many red blood cells and make more blood clots earlier on. So, sharp double-edged sword.
So I'm 58, Dr. Andy, and I've been taking it probably since I was 29. So guess what I'm going to have to say to you?
You probably need it then, and you're using it correctly. I'm speaking of the people who don't. I disagree with you. You need it.
To disagree. How about that?
No, I agree with your use because you need it. I don't agree with the people who do it to try to over supplement and hurt themselves inadvertently.
So I want to say that this is a very important show for your children to watch, for my children to watch, the Buffalo girls and the Donnie Lowe girls, because this is about, you ready, guys? Something about planes, piloting parents through old age. What kind of plane
Yes.
is that?
Yes. Parents are very
Plane of
unwieldy
existence?
Eight things that come up because people are living longer, and unfortunately, we're living well past the age where some of us can be autonomous and do the things we want to do. Unfortunately, our kids are there to see our misadventures. Things we have to think about are autonomy and competence. When you take somebody's autonomy away from them, you depress them and really erase their existence. So you have to acknowledge that, but you have to see if they're competent to do things.
Well, I was going to ask you, correct me if I'm wrong, but to make that decision, aren't there like 5 different things that you look for that you're able to like take care of yourself, wash yourself, feed
Okay.
yourself?
You're
What now?
speaking
What are
about-
those?
Okay, you're speaking, there's activities of daily living, and then there's the activities, it's sort of the extension of the secondary activities of living. ADLs are just, essentially clean, groom, dress, eat, the very basic in-house functions.
And still be sexually active.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Well, you can always get drunk and take advantage of yourself.
Why should today be any different?
Anyway, moving right along, the big issue will come with, can this person live independently? Observation from being a medical director of nursing homes and taking care of geriatrics for 40 years, you need 3 things to live independently. You need to have a little bit of vision so you don't injure yourself. You need to have enough cognition to not injure yourself, not run out into the snow naked. And you need to have enough ambulation to transfer from couch to toilet to chair.
Oh my God.
Those are the 3 big things that keep you in or out of a nursing home.
I got to be honest with you, Andy. That's a big reason that I stopped drinking. Living alone. If things go bad, they're going to go really bad.
Yeah. If
You know
things
what I
go
mean?
south and you're solo dwelling, you're going to be in trouble. That I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh my God, yeah.
Trope is a very real trope.
Well, we were so excited to get started on this journey today, Dr. Andy, is that Donnie's going to holler at us because we did not do our jobs. We did not tell everybody that all the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo and Dr. Andy are purely for entertainment purposes.
Thank you.
And also, we want to talk about our sponsor. Look at, you can even claim a mystery discount.
Is this Pins and Aces?
It's Pins and Aces, not Pins and Needles. Pins and Aces. Pinsandaces.com. Our friends, your friends, and everybody's friends.
You need people who make comfortable golf wear that is not embarrassing.
You want to look at the polos or the t-shirts?
Polos for me, I like something loose, comfortable, and quiet.
And it's funny, every time I look at this, they got a lot of stuff that's sold out. Look at that, another one sold out. White noise. Isn't that what you say about me, that I'm white noise?
No, sometimes you can be gray noise.
And how old I'm feeling that day?
But they do make comfortable,
Yes.
loose-fitting, reasonably quiet, conservative patterns.
Oh,
and
for women,
some more
too.
jazzy stuff if you're so inclined.
God, I don't mean to be funny, but my Aunt Helen used to wear shirts like this all the time. She hated having sleeves. So she would have been awesome customer for Pins and Aces. God bless you, Aunt Helen. Chachi Helcha. Yeah, because just like you always talk about your booyak edu.
Yes, my uncle Ed.
Yes. So go to Pins and Aces. You're going to find something you like. And I need these belts, Andy, because my ass is, I have no ass, so my pants are always falling down. So that'll come in handy. But go to pinsandaces.com, pick out some stuff for you, your friends, and maybe your enemies if you still got to buy something for somebody, and put in the promo code. I like the hat a lot too. I don't know what's up with the octopus though, but it looks cool. Go to pinsandaces.com. Look, I can get these pants. You don't need a belt.
Yes, on the discount.
I don't know. Why don't you give it a shot? What's your favorite number? Because this isn't.
My lucky number has always been 21.
Well,
Am I
it's
close?
yes, it's 21% off plus the mystery discount, and it's just a shame because next week is going to be a super duper lucky episode because it'll be episode 21 that you always ask me about.
Yes. Lucky 21.
So once again, check out your friends and ours, pinsandaces.com.
Now, let me get to issues that come up when you have a solo dwelling parent who is beginning to slip and slide down the ladder of being, competent. There'll be safety issues. Number one,
Tough conversations, Andy. Tough,
are
tough,
difficult
tough, tough.
conversations, and I will talk later about how to initiate and how not to leave with your head under your arm. Oh, firearms.
I never
motor
even
vehicle
thought of anything
operation,
like that. That's a big one, motor vehicle.
operation, financial independence, and then finally basic life safety.
Now, when you're advising your patients and their family, well, pretty much their family, like how to deal with this, how do you tell them to go about this? Because, like I said, that's a very hard. Like, Andy, you can't drive anymore. Give me your keys.
Yes,
That ain't
thank you.
happening.
That
That
is
ain't
a
gonna
very
happen.
difficult issue. What I try to do is do it in a very ethical, transparent way. That way, everybody has the ability to go to bed at night with a clear conscience. No subterfuge, no sneakiness, no he said, she said. I try to get everybody in the room at once. It takes time, but it's time well spent as a physician.
We're talking
And-
about taking away freedoms, and that's a
Right,
big
it's-
thing.
That's a big thing in terms of people's ability to feel autonomous. And I will tell my patient, first of all, number one, you are autonomous. You make decisions on your care as long as you're competent. And I tell people, competence, it's called decisional capacity. You don't have to be able to tell me who the president is or, what the date is.
George Washington.
You just have to make the same decision on a consistent basis. That's decisional capacity. Now, I'll tell a patient, you have autonomy. As long as the lights are on in your life, you have autonomy. However, we have to talk about what is safe and what is not safe. And I'll have patient and family. It's a tough time. I tell them this room is the demilitarized zone. Anything you say here stays here. Doesn't go home. Can't fight about it later. Get your, pardon my language, shit out here. It's a difficult time, and I will directly address people and ask them, how competent are you driving? What can you do? What can't you do? And I'll lay those tapes forward and say, you're driving, you're X age, somebody does something, they're at fault. You are going to wear it. You are going to financially wear it. You're going to legally wear it. That's not something you want to wear. Can't carry the guilt of either injuring somebody, losing all of your financial resources, being incarcerated because you demonstrated did not have capacity. You've got to protect your back. Your family is going to step in and do what you need to do, driving for you to protect you. And I will explain to them that if you have a misadventure driving, that can be used as a springboard to put you into inpatient care and then a nursing home. Don't expose yourself.
Do you see a lot of family violence when you're having this kind of conversation? I mean,
We'll
I'll
have
kick
some-
your ass. You ain't taking my car away. Screw you, kid.
Okay, yes. But
I don't mean to be
we have
funny, you know.
we have that in a room with me there, and I will decompress it, let people vent, let them get it out. Most vent, and then they'll feel better and be open to listening once they've been heard. Once you hear them, they're going to listen. And I will play tapes forward. I will tell them what's out there in terms of regulatory agencies and say, it's best to hand your driving privileges off than to have them taken from you.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that.
And I will say, you're not handing your adulthood off. You're still commander in chief. If you want to take your diabetes medicine, you take it. If you don't want to, you don't. You're in charge of you.
You're kind of dovetailing into my
You're
next
not gonna
question.
hurt somebody. Another thing that I'll do is financial misadventures, misappropriation, things like that. I try to tell people you have to think ahead. You've got to think a number of years ahead. while you're competent, cognizant, and able to make decisions, while you're years off of even considering going into some sort of managed care, if that should happen, you need to protect yourself, number one, with a living will, with some durable power of attorney should you not be able to speak for yourself, so that your wishes are always what you get. You don't get what the state mandates, you get your wishes. And there I will try to get a living will with the old term is a DNR, should you choose not to be resuscitated, your medical wishes, and somebody to help you pilot financially. I will talk to people with assets and say, I am not a financier, I am not an elder lawyer. Get an elder lawyer, look into ways to establish durable trusts, irrevocable trusts, talk with your insurance brokers, see how you can legally move your money to a place that when the time comes for you to go into care, you can have your Medicare and then establish Medicaid guidelines. Medicaid allows you to have your domicile. It allows you to have $2,000 in assets, a motor vehicle, and your personal property. Anything past that, whoosh, there it goes. That's where you need legal representation. You use an elder lawyer to help you. You need insurance representation and financial representation to ethically move your money so that it's not touchable on a Medicaid look back. The look back is 5 years. 5 years is a very long time. You need to have professional help guiding you. Your money is still your money. Your possessions are still your possessions. You're still the captain of your boat, but you've got a good crew, and when the time comes that they're going to take your boat, you have a cooler boat, and your other boat is available for other people.
So I got to tell you, Andy, you're really going a little bit into my specialty, talking about life insurance and annuities and things like that. And I got to say, no matter what that person's age is, the question I ask, do you have a will?
Thank you.
And hardly anybody does. And it costs you next to nothing to do it.
I do.
And let me ask you this, not Dr. Andy, my client. When's the last time you had your will updated?
About 6 weeks ago.
See, that is not the norm. It's usually, never, nothing's changed, which you really should at least every year or two talk to your whoever put their will together for you, because things change, you know? And when Andy's talking about an irrevocable trust, that's something that you really have to look into, because we can do irrevocable beneficiaries also.
I am.
Mhm.
I know my lane. That's why I try to put people in other lanes. You know, reputable insurance brokers, reputable financial advisors, reputable elder legal advice, because what happens afterwards, and I hate to use the word pillage.
And another thing, Andy, like when you see somebody saying, "Hey, such and such passed away, we're going to do a GoFundMe," what do you think caused that?
Usually the PPP is poor planning.
It's because they didn't have insurance. That's exact 99.9% of the time.
Nobody wants to have
No,
their passage with
No.
that attached. You know, you feel like, a person, sitting on the corner with a sign saying, "Help me." And what you have to do is sit and work with your family. If you don't like what they say, document what you want. If you document what you want well, and if you do a little bit of planning, and you work with your family, people can maintain independent dealing with external. Instead of, I'm sorry.
It's okay. A lot of things that get touchy, like me and Donnie, when we provide service to people for whether it's insurance, annuities,
Mhm.
we end up becoming your friends. You know what I mean? And it gets a little bit dicey for us too, because I remember for a case where it was a huge family and we were trying to get something together for mom. And I'm like, where is such and such, Andy?
Mhm.
Such and such wasn't there. And
Oh,
unfortunately, mom died 3 months later. And who was the first one to call Eddie? That guy.
Yeah. What I suggest typically, because we will have families and factions, and not every cowboy comes in wearing a white hat, so to speak. I tell them, look, you need to work this out. I need one family representative. You need to legally have one person as that. Pick who
Right.
you trust. You work.
And that's important, whoever you trust.
And I tell people, work your stuff out before you come here. I don't want to be in the middle of that because it distracts from the medical end of things. I'm not a boxing referee. I'm not a financial maven, but I know what lanes you need to get into, and I know what you need. You need one person, patient. You need one person that patient trusts, appointed. That way, there's no challenging, and then you need a plan, because if you take it home and you do the usual safeguards, if you have enough oversight, if you have enough external services, be it even laundry being taken out, meals being brought in, and somebody picking up around the place on a regular basis, you're going to be able to maintain a reasonably ill person in the place where they want to be. That means a bunch. I've been through it personally. My mother was incredibly ill and debilitated. And her goal was she wanted to live alone in her apartment. She wanted to pass on her couch. And my sister, who I give tremendous credit to, and I worked together hard to make that happen. And we were successful for about 99% of the adventure.
And that's a big thing, Andy. Whether you're working with a financial advisor or an agent, there's I'll see a lot of things happen that I've seen happen in the past. And unfortunately, I'm in a position where you don't learn until you've done it. And every time you think you've seen everything.
Nobody has seen everything, and
No.
people will surprise you both with the good they do and the bad they do. So,
And you also want to avoid the dirtiest word on the planet, and that's a P word. You know what that is, Andy?
nothing I can say in public. I know what that
It's,
is.
yeah, and it's a dirty, dirty bastard of a word, and that's because you didn't have your shit together, like Andy said.
I
You
just
know.
try to do everything I can. The big important thing is to remember that patient is the center. It is not the family. It is not the finances. That patient and their autonomy and their medical wishes. And I'll ask people, where do you see yourself in 5 years? If you were to be very sick, would you want to be on machines in an intensive care unit? If you were very sick and got to the end of the rope, do you want them to tie a knot, so to speak, and you hang on forever, or do you want to let go gently with grace and comfort?
Well, let me ask you a question, Andy. So, say I know you don't have grandchildren,
No, I don't.
but say you had grandchildren and they were under 18 years old, and you wanted to change your will and have it set up that they got a portion of your estate when you died.
Mhm.
Would you want to do something like that?
I would really have to sit and think that through very carefully and know the parties involved.
That's a big fat no, Andy, and I'm going to tell you why. Go ahead.
What I would do is I would sit down with a legal advisor and a financial advisor and see how things could be arranged that what I want distributed goes where I want it to go, with the minimum tax burden and the minimum family infighting.
Well, funny story. If you have somebody that's not well versed in dealing with this before or has never seen this happen before, in a lot of states, including New York, where we were originally both from, hey, you leave money to a kid that's under 18 years old, brakes are put on everything for everybody.
Yes.
And if that kid's under 18, they have to have their own lawyer. Say if you left, you had a big heart, you wanted to leave it to all these kids, and 6 of them were under 18. Guess what, Andy?
Trust, you said a trust up that doesn't touch until they're over a certain
Yes, but
age.
where I'm going is you want to keep this money and give it to your family. You don't want to go into lawyers. If you have 6 kids or any number of kids that are under 18 and you want to leave their money, they have to get their own lawyer. Not one of those child can have the same lawyer. And so who's making a lot of money?
It's not marriage.
It's horrible. I mean, it's out.
How do you avoid this?
Oh, you don't leave it to minors. If you do have it set up where you have a trust set up or put it in somebody else's name that will distribute it down. Yeah, 100%. But I don't want these guys to get your money. Absolutely not. And I know a lot of good attorneys. I know a lot of bad ones too. But a lot of times it's like a crime of omission. They didn't know that it was going to be that big of a problem because nobody tells them that there's things like that going on.
That's
You
why I
know?
urge people to get
Yeah.
their financial and
Doesn't
legal
cost you
professional,
nothing.
or make one single arrangement, have family make a decision together. And I avoid dealing with the environment. I said, look, you guys have to figure this out. I want one patient, and if they want, I'm sorry, I thumped the desk. That one patient, one representative, and we're going to work together, keeping in mind that what the patient wants is the most important thing. That patient's
Well-
autonomy is king, queen, and jack of diamonds.
And some people are very creative. Like the first time I heard it, I was like, it sounds stupid, but it's a really good idea. I know this one woman that she has 4 children. And it's a free for all. 2 of them are boys. They don't give a crap about what's in that house. I wouldn't care. Maybe there was a couple things I
And
want
there's
for
gonna be
memories.
some items that are going to
But
be.
guess what? I bet you their wives want something. So in her will, Andy, and this is for real, I'm not going to say who it is, but when she passes, only children are allowed in the house, no spouses. You ever hear that before?
This is outside. It's well
Yeah.
outside my realm.
So,
no,
like I said, when you think you heard everything, that's why when I train somebody in my profession, I say, don't ever think you know everything. Then don't go pulling out answers out of your ass. If you don't know something, stop and get a hold of somebody. I don't have to be the smartest guy in the room, but I have to have access to the smartest guy in the room.
we go back to the basic principles that Ed hit, and basically you use to approach when you have elders who are beginning to enter that era of losing ability to live independently. You need to, number one, acknowledge their autonomy, hear their wishes, and realize what they want, especially from a medical standpoint, is very important. And you have to be open and transparent. You can't have the little naggy behind the scenes issues. You bring it out and say, I'm worried about Dad driving. And then I talk with Dad and I say, I'm concerned about driving. Well, I'm less concerned. There are times when people over worry. I'm concerned about driving for X, Y, and Z. This is what can happen. Tell me your version. You have to listen to the version. You have to be prepared to rebut and then make a decision. And eventually you're going to get to a rational decision. It takes time, thought, caring, because it's scary getting old. It's scary being
The roles get
told to do
reversed,
something.
Andy.
Right, but you cannot take that person's autonomy away, or it's like poking a hole in them.
And don't go sticking your head in the sand like you're a friggin' ostrich, because nothing's going to get done then.
Nope.
There's going to be hurt feelings. Nobody's going to like everything. That's just, we're humans.
Open
You
and
know what I mean?
transparent
100%.
mitigates a lot of the hurt feelings. Coming from a point of love, saying, look, my goal is your goal. But if we go X, Y, and Z, if you still have, your car and you're driving at night and getting lost and putting yourself at risk, you're going to lose your autonomy. That's my approach. play that tape forward, show what can happen, show why you're concerned.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be Karnak.
Yes, the great Karnak, you just need the little. you
What
just need-
is, I think we need a part 2 on this show about caring for elderly parents.
I would love, yes, I
I
would
think
love
it-
to
it
have
really is.
people ask questions, comments, because they make me think.
Oh, yeah,
When I hear a new
100%.
situation I've not heard before, I'm grateful because it gives me a chance to think that one through.
And once again, we're at the end of another show, and I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface on
Yes.
something like this. And I'm sure we are going to get a lot of comments.
I hope.
So we're going to end the show like we end every other show. We probably will have a part 2. Okay. If you like working with people that are just like you, have the same values that you have the same passion for life, and love your children as much as we do ours, you need to start working with us. I'm not even going to say us. You need to start working with us. You know, and you can reach us by going to ebiagency.com. You can reach me at eddiebuffaloinsurance@gmail.com. And the hotline is 716-541-4118. So remember, life is definitely worth living. What do you got to do, Andy?
Just keep fighting.
Just keep fighting. So we'll see you next week, and tune in for the rest of our shows. Take care, everyone.